Are you so excited?
Yes. So you can play football?
Yeah! Yay!
This is, how many people have seen this video? This is actually Caroline reacting to the news that Mom videotaped when you learned you could play, when you got that ruling from the Archdiocese. Yeah. So your girlfriends have been, we talked about your sisters and your teammates, but your girlfriends have been so supportive too.
Yeah, they've been really supportive. They've been my friends before and after and all during, and they're the best friends that anybody could have during a time like this.
Aw, what a great message. I want to bring in a friend of mine, my kids' coach. In the interest of full disclosure, but this is Coach Matt Paul, who locally is known as somebody who played the game, so has some skin in the game professionally and so on. And Coach Matt Paul now, I call you the guru of coaching and also life skills with kids, and your company's called Success is a Choice. So welcome, Coach Matt Paul.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
So what do you think of, as a family story of Caroline, her mom, her family, the Bucks County community, and then reaching out nationally and internationally? Pretty amazing story.
I would say inspirational. I think that's the key that I take away from this, is that you're an inspiration to me for your courage to stand up for what you believe in, but secondly, your courage to just want to play. You just want to play, and the adults that were in a position of power maybe didn't see that. You just wanted to play and be a kid, and I really admire you for taking this on. And I think you're an inspiration to not just me, but to little girls and little boys. So that's really awesome.
Thank you.
You had some great points about that. This is because a lot of people say this is about the women's movement. A lot of people say this is about the church changing. And you actually had a great point that you had mentioned to me, Coach Matt, and that was this is about life skills and life lessons for Caroline and a lot of kids.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, as we were talking earlier, this is just a launching pad for something a lot bigger for you. And I think you're going to look back and say, this was just a small thing, even though, you've made it big already. I think, getting out there in the public and taking on things where people are not in support of you is not always an easy thing. And anytime you stand out and be outstanding, sometimes people want to knock you down. And this is only going to build you up and allow you to be more open to the world, and I think you're going to be able to be more inspirational. This is just the start for you. So that's, again, really inspiring to little girls, little boys, adults everywhere who are really listening to your story. So I commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I like that her main thing was that she kept it at a kid level. She didn't get caught up in the adult part of it. She just kept it as it's not fair to the kids, and that's where I think you were really proved that even though you're 11 years old, you can really have your voice heard, and you just have to do it with respect.
That's right.
And that's how she went out, and she just maintained the goal and kept focus on the goal.
But we look at the video over and over, but are you worried as a mom that she's number 10, she's been on national TV, that when she goes out with the 7th graders that, she's a target?
Well, yes, I should say yes, but that's a learned behavior. So if someone is teaching their player or their son or daughter to act that way on the field, then they really shouldn't be on the field. That's not sportsmanship, and that's a great thing that the Romans teach is sportsmanship and the respect, no matter if you're a boy, if you're a girl, respect for the coaches, and I think you speak to that a lot, and that's where you gain it when you're younger. You have to show respect, and respect not just for those around you, but for your opponents as well. If they're down, help them up. They always help the other side up. You see that on all the video. It's not just us. It's everybody on that field. Have respect for everybody. So hopefully we'll see that. We'll see. Time will tell.
But I mean, as a mom, because I have little boys, and I always say, don't hit girls and this and that. I mean, is there a point, especially when you're hitting the teen years, because you just turned 12, where you think, I don't want to play with boys, where now it becomes something different because you're not little kids now, you become teens and you're preteen. I mean, is that a concern in there that that you think about?
Well, obviously the boys are getting bigger, and I still am too. And I think that I'm still at that age where it's okay for me to be able to match up against the boys. But as I get older, say high school and on, then I think that the boys will be a lot bigger than me, and I think it'll be about time to stop and put the helmet away.
And we should say you're a track star and you're a basketball star too. I mean, Coach Matt, just the final word here for success is a choice, and thinking about girls and boys and what we can learn from Caroline and her family in their really when they were trying to enlighten people with this.
The point about choice is you chose to play, you chose to take this on, you chose not to back down. And I think that's the inspiration. You stood out to help other people, and it wasn't just for you. And I think, again, that's really the key to all this, is that there's a lesson beyond, going out and putting the pads on and trying to knock into somebody, is what are you going to do after this? How can you take this and catapult your life? And I think you're doing it already. So it's great to be a part of it.
Oh, sure is. Coach Matt Seal and Caroline Pla, we're so proud of you. Thanks for coming on my show. Really appreciate it. And next, lose weight, stay healthy with the right supplements. We'll be right back. Dawn Stensland-Menti back again. One of the biggest questions I get from people is they say, how did you lose that 35 plus pounds after your last baby and you kept it off? So this is my thing that I love to talk about. It's not just about keeping the weight off. It's not about losing it fast. It's really about keeping healthy. And a lot of times supplements are something that we all need as part of our healthy plan. I always say, don't go on a diet. Make a plan and stick to the plan. So I'm here now with Dr. Anthony Webby of Souza Clinic to explain. I just ran into a mom yesterday, and she was saying this to me. So you better be watching. So
well, thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for being here.
I appreciate it.
Now, one of the big things with the supplements that I love is that you have supplements to help burn the fat.
Correct. Well, the reason supplements are important in general is because of the nutrition that people eat. A lot of processed foods don't have the nutrition that's necessary to keep the weight off and help get that weight off. So one of the supplements that we have are the fat burner supplements that are made from...
You have 3 kinds here.
Yes.
So this one over here, we'll start with that.
It's the Peak, and it's our proprietary formula. And it's basically, they're made of natural ingredients, cranberry, chromium, magnesium, to help give people energy and to help them lose the weight and help with those cravings as well.
And then the middle one is for working out?
So again, for people that work, we have different plans for people that work out, people that don't. And again, we adjust our weight loss based on people's needs and what they need. So yeah, this is a supplement that we have. We call it Boost. It's for people that work out and want that extra energy during their workouts to help, again, target the fat.
And the third one here is?
Energy, again, for people that don't work out as much, have that busy schedule, shift work, 12-hour work, hours of working. They take this, it helps with the appetite cravings, and again, gives them that much needed energy so that you don't go towards the food, but again, you have the energy to focus on your work.
Yeah, and it seems like sometimes, especially the belly fat, is that stubborn fat that's just stored stuff that you don't need.
Exactly. So we have different kinds of fat. We have the structural fat, as we were talking, that maintains your feet. Your feet and your face. That's the structural fat. We don't want to lose it. No, we don't. So again, it targets the abnormal fat, the adipose tissue, where the extra calories they go in.
What I call the badlands of the body. It hits the badlands.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And then these are some more supplements here that we want to talk about. What's this one for?
So
probiotics.
Again, a probiotic. Again, like a lot of times when people eat processed foods. Those foods, whether it's beef, chicken, again, we spoke last time, they're fed hormones, they're fed antibiotics, and we eat those foods. Those foods go into our digestive system, and they throw off the natural bacteria that's found in our digestive system.
And this is a huge issue right now with superflus and all of that, so that's a huge issue in the news.
Exactly. So a lot of times people find it hard to go to the bathroom, and they have digestive issues, whether it's gas or things like that. So we do recommend a probiotic, which is found in naturally fermented yogurt. So that's a probiotic. It's very important to maintaining a healthy digestive tract, the colon, and the important bacteria that's in there.
Now the middle one, the melatonin, this is a big deal right here.
Right, and melatonin is very important. Again, if you're not sleeping enough, if you're staying up all night, if you're stressed, you're not going to lose the weight. You're going to hold on to that fat, and you're going to store the fat. So again, sleeping is very important in losing the weight. And melatonin is found, it's a common ingredient found out there. However, our supplements are different in the fact that they're manufactured in GMP certified labs, which is a very important certification when it comes to supplements because it's a hard certification to get. And GMP, it's very important to look at who manufactures those supplements and where they're made.
Yeah, and you can trust Sosa with that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
these are great. You know, I try to eat meals and I try to plan, but this is for those folks on a go or shift worker that can still get healthy foods.
Again, it's very hard for people that are on the go, like you said, and it's very important. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day. You know, breakfast, you break your fast, and it's something on the go, whether you add almond milk, you add some water, we have them both in tubs, or you can even put them in a blender with strawberries or any fruits. And if you don't have the time, you have a single meal here.
And that's these, you just stick water in and
Right.
shake it
So
up
there's
and you're
no
good to go.
excuse to skip any meal, no matter what. And we all have our excuses. We're living life, you know. So it's normal to have those excuses, and we work with people to address those issues.
And a lot of people are vegetarians, so you have vegetarian choices, and you have some
Exactly.
bars over here.
Exactly.
Those are for on the go.
Well, for vegetarians, again, they don't get all the nutrients they need, whether it's vitamin B12 or other vitamins in their food. So we have antioxidants in there. We have vitamins that help, especially vegetarians that lack those nutrients. And then finally, yeah, we have different flavors, and I hope you get to taste the bars.
Yeah, if there are any left, everybody's
I know.
tasting these in the studio and loving them. But Dr. Webby, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
I really believe in Sosa because it's really what I call a holistic plan. It's not just a fad diet.
Well, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you. Have a great night.